man, I'm really not liking these joysticks. I wonder why they didn't just leave it alone. And we're back. Welcome everyone. Welcome to all the new viewers. Thank you for taking the time to come by to our channel. Bienvenidos a todos al canal de LG. So, what do I have for you guys today? Well, 2 videos ago, I actually unboxed the Razer Kishi version 2 for you guys. And I have been playing with the actual device for a bit, and to tell you the truth, I do like the grip. I like the fact that the back is a little bit more stable now, or should I say a lot more stable, where the actual controller is not doing this, you know, because on this version there will be kind of like a slant when it was already installed on your phone. What are the new differences that actually Razer did or upgraded from the Kishi 1 to the Kishi version 2? Well, let me tell you guys, they did go ahead and switch over from a contact pad to mechanical buttons on that directional pad. They did go ahead and add a slight more of a radius to that concave effect on the D-pad, as you guys can see right there. I will show you guys a close-up of everything that I'm talking about. And another thing is the rubber grommets, they're removable. So what do you do when you remove them? Well, guess what, guys? You can use the case of your iPhone with the controller. And what do I mean by that is you can use the Apple silicone cases. I will go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. I don't have an issue with the Apple silicone case. It actually slides right in. And the only concern I have is that it might tear up the silicone case with this particular edge. But then again, I'd rather have the controller tear up my case than tear up my phone. Although the rubber grommets do protect your phone slightly, I will show you guys a close-up of how it looks when the actual phone is sitting on the controller itself, and the camera bump actually, or camera lens, not the bump, but the lens actually sits way too close, or should I say right on top of the plastic. No, God! And that doesn't float my boat, because obviously iPhone users, you guys know how much you spend on your phone, and the last thing you want is for there to be a scratch on your camera lens. Another neat thing they went ahead and added is this new Nexus app. Yeah! What is that? Well, remember Kishi 1 had an app, but basically it was only for updating the firmware, where I don't remember if they ever did upgrade the firmware. Let me know that in the comments below if you do own a Kishi 1 and you ended up seeing a firmware update. I still haven't seen one since I bought this, but case being, they did go ahead and create this app. I will show you what the app is all about, and let me tell you, it's missing a few things. Let's go down to the buttons. Well, let me tell you guys, the particular buttons on the top, you guys will see right now, there's actually 2 additional, which is a R4 and a L4. What are those for? Well, the controller itself is not remappable in its entirety. Only these 2 top buttons, which is the R4 and L4. And if you notice here, they did go ahead and set it slightly higher than your actual trigger. That way, when you're playing, you don't accidentally click that button. You have to work yourself up and feel it. And once you get there, you'll be able to feel the difference between your trigger and your R4. The R4 and L4 are remappable via the app. I will show you guys in a bit. So as far as the buttons go, the buttons they went ahead and used, they switched them to the actual, if you heard of the Razer Wolverine controller, those are the buttons they're using on this mobile controller. Now, as for the layout, guys, I think that's just way too close. The actual XYBA buttons don't take a lot of pressure for you to activate them. As for the rest of the buttons, like the Nexus app, the Options app, the screen share, and the menu, those take a little bit more pressure for you to press. I'm okay with that. The only buttons I really want some quick action on is your XYBA buttons, because those are the ones that you're slamming the entire time. So they did not add an audio jack on this version of the Kishi either. Just like on the Kishi 1, no audio jack. As you can see, version Kishi 2, no audio jack. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people still prefer to use the wired headset. The actual connection here is only a charging connection. This is not a data pass-through. It charges from 12 to 15 watts. You can continue to play while your phone is plugged into the outlet. All right, guys, so here it is, the Kishi version 2. Look at that. It actually does resemble the backbone a lot, with the difference that, you know, obviously it's from Razer, and Razer went ahead and added a ergonomical design on the actual Kishi version 2, where the old one it did not have that design. It was just completely flat. So this new controller, when you grab it, it actually sits a lot more better on your hands. Excuse the size of my hands. I know they're pretty big, and yeah, they kind of wrap all around the actual controller. But let's talk about the changes. So a particular change that they did go ahead and apply on this version of the Kishi is the width that the actual controller opens to, and is a full 7 inches. That's kind of pushing the controller itself. I wouldn't actually extend it that far just for safety reasons, because as you guys can see here, it already starts to lose the rigidity on the controller itself, and we don't want that to happen because we might break it. So let me show you guys with the measuring tape how much does it open. So with the measuring tape, it actually, if you put it on one end, you will be able to stretch it all the way out to approximately, I would say, I told you guys it was 7 inches, so safely would be 7 inches. So it appears to be about 7 1/4 that it opens up to. As for the original Kishi, go ahead and show you guys how far does it open. Put it on one end, stretch it out. So I would say it's safely about 6 1/4, and that's pushing it because it appears to be about 6 1/2, which that is not stretching the controller out to a safe point where I feel that you might snap the ribbon at that point, as well as overstretching it beyond 7 inches to 7 1/4. You would have the same effect with this one. So let's talk about the case. So here is my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Don't mind all the smudges. This is my daily phone, and let me show you guys. So here we go. You put it in on one side. As you guys can see there, it actually sits properly under the actual case. Put it on the other side, gently push it down, push it in, and there you go. Look at that, guys. It actually sits perfectly well with the case. Now, as far as the camera bump goes, as you guys can see there, there's no light peeping through. That means that the actual plastic from the case that is touching the actual back of the Kishi version 2. And that's okay because it's being protected by this particular part of the case. I'm perfectly fine with that. So now we'll show you guys with my other case that's a little bit more thicker than this one. This is the iPhone silicone case. And here is my other case. This is a Gear 4 by D80. So this one is a little bit more thicker, and we're gonna see if this particular case fits in there. So same procedure, go ahead, slide it in on one end, make sure it's connected to your actual lightning port. Try to, yeah, you see how it's already starting to jam up? We're gonna try, yeah, this is not gonna fit snug in there. I could already tell. And all right, so no camera bump. The camera bump is being pushed in, and oh, having issues here. You see that, guys? All right, so I will show you guys why that's happening. So you see right there, the actual camera bump, which is this plastic that, well, the camera bump protector, which is this plastic here. This plastic is way too high, so it's not allowing for the actual phone to slide in correctly. As you guys can see right there, it's not in. Look at that. It's in from this side because there's no camera bump there, but this side, there is a camera bump. So I just proved to you guys that depending the case that you use, it might or might not work. You can always go the route of actually leaving the grommets, which are right here, and just using your actual bare phone. I doubt there's anyone out there that wants to stick their actual phone into the controller without any case, because of the fact that it might scratch up your phone. So here we go. Once again, put it into the lightning adapter, put it in over here, bam. All right, there we go, nice and snug. And as you guys can see here, let me see if I could get it to show this side maybe. All right, right about there, there is no daylight whatsoever. That means that the third camera over here, that's actually touching up against the plastic. That's a big no-no, at least for me. Why? Because that might scratch my camera lens. So for now, let's go back to the actual iPhone silicone case, or the Apple silicone case. Let's power my phone back on and show you guys what the Nexus app is all about. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and start up the Nexus app. So I just want to tell you guys, when you first initially plug your phone into the Razer Kishi version 2, it's going to give you a little display box down here at the bottom, and it's going to ask you if you want to go ahead and download the software. You press yes, it sends you to the App Store. You go ahead and launch it by pressing this button. And there it is. This is the actual Razer Nexus app. As you guys can see, they attempted to go ahead and follow the same type of UI that the Backbone app has, where it's not as successful. It has its flaws. For example, there is no search option right at the top of the actual app itself. So you do have to scroll all these different types of games that you do not have installed on your actual phone. And that is a big issue for me. Why? Because the limited games that I do have installed, I want them to pop up on the actual screen and display those first. I don't want to see all these games that I do not have. As far as the games that I play, kind of like Call of Duty or Apex Legends, they're not on the screen itself. So we have to go and look for it. So let's go to action, and I will show you guys what I'm talking about when I say that this app needs a lot of work. You go to more games and you see all these games. I don't have any of these games besides Call of Duty and Apex Legends. So why is this, all of them ghosted out and this one's sticking out? That is very confusing to me. So here's Call of Duty. I go ahead and I press on it. I get another screen. So the game did not initially launch when I pressed it the first time. Well, technically the second time. Now it wants me to press Y and view it on the App Store. Press Y. There it is. That's a third screen. That's a big no-no when it comes to user interfaces, because you want to get to your game. You don't want to have to keep clicking stuff. Press open. You go ahead and launch your game. So there it is. Here's the game itself. And we were able to get to it after launching the app, going to action, pressing more games, searching for the game. That's 4 actions already. Tapping on the actual game, that's 6, and then pressing Y, that's 7, and then pressing open to actually open up the game. So I will show you guys a little bit of gameplay of the way the actual game functions with this controller. And let's give this a go.
Team deathmatch.
All right. Okay, so you guys will be able to see how I'm all over the screen when I'm using the thumbsticks, because of the fact that there is hardly any pressure on them. You see how I'm all over the screen when I'm holding the thumbs, trying to point with the thumbsticks or aim? That's the one thing that sucks. All right, see, you see there, guys? Okay, so basically what I dislike about the controller itself is just the thumbsticks for the time being, and the layout of the buttons themselves are just way too close, and my big old fingers don't allow me to press each button individually sometimes. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh. All right, there we go. Oh man, I haven't died just yet. Woo! All right. Ah, I finally died. Okay, that's one death. All right, let's go, guys. Okay. Let's just get this game over with. We got these two over here. All right, there we go. I feel that there's a huge advantage and disadvantage when you're using a mobile controller, because as you guys can see, you hardly die when it comes to mobile games. But when it comes to actual consoles, is a different story. And I got the last kill right there. You see, guys, all right. So all in all, it's very responsive. There's hardly any lag on it, but I don't like the way the buttons are laid out. The buttons themselves, they're too close. They're too close for comfort. I do have to kind of tilt my fingers to the side. I can't really press it straight forward because I will accidentally press the button right next to that. But other than that, let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys think about the Razer Kishi 2? And let's just see how many kills did I get in this game. All right, so I went 29-1. Not bad. But that's a huge advantage of using the actual controller itself. Whoa, guys, so what do you think about the actual Kishi version 2? I think that I'm on the edge of it being worth the $100 and not being worth the $100. Take the app out of the picture, just leave it the way it was before, because the app in general, it's useless. You launch the app, and when you want to launch a game, it opens up a second window where you still have to press another button, which opens up the Apple Store, and you run the game from there. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. So now you guys can see why I said that the Nexus app needs a lot of work. It's because of the UI functionality on it. It's not all there just yet. Razer needs to hop on the ball and actually correct all this and take the input that the community might have, just like myself, that they need to get this a little bit better and remove the steps that you have to take in order for you to run the game. All in all, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. They tried to take the approach that Backbone did with the app where you click on the actual picture of the game and it runs it. I think if they would have went that route, or I'm not too sure if Backbone might have that copyrighted, let me know down in the comments below, but I'm pretty sure that's a feature that cannot be copyrighted or copywritten, because that's how the Xbox is, that's how the PlayStation is. So Razer, if you're listening, if you're watching this, please don't add extra steps to launch the games from your app. If you want to have an app on the actual controller, please make them launchable straight from the app. Don't make me have to click 2 or 3 more times just to launch a game. Also, there's so many pictures on there. A lot of them do not look familiar because obviously they're probably third-party games from smaller development companies, which I have not played yet. So I'm looking for my typical games that I play, like Call of Duty and Apex Legends, and I have to scroll all the way all around the screen just to look for those icons. So if you're a dad, a gaming dad, looking for a new controller, mobile controller to take on the go while you're out camping or on vacation, don't forget to check out my latest video. But till next time, guys, I'm tEcK. Peace out. So if you're a dad, a gaming dad, ooh,